All right, Taylor was going to end up being a rifle hunter this year, something he hasn't done since he was about 8 years old. So him and Scotty was going to be out rifle hunting, and decided to fix up an old stand. It was Dad's stand. It was a very good stand on the first day of rifle season. It was always good on the first day, and it hadn't been hunted for years, and it was in bad shape. So we decided to go up and fix it up before rifle season. The week before the season, we went up and rebuilt it.
I turn it around. I can't let it stick out through that floor. It won't let it pull to the tree because it's against that. Like that. It's not against this tree because it's against that outer one.
That other one? All right.
Now I'll just throw it down over here. And then we clear down over the hill.
All right, so week before deer season, I was coming home from work, and field down the road Stewart's had bought this past year and cleared all the brush, and they planted hayseed in it in the fall to make hay for their horse, and ended up being a big attractant for the deer. Every day we was seeing a lot of deer in that hay field. That fresh grass coming up, the deer really liked it. Well, I was coming home from work, and I looked out there and I saw a really nice buck, and called Taylor, and I says, hey, there's a real nice buck. You ought to grab your camera and get down here and see if you can get some video of it.
It's a nice buck. Hopefully he comes out our way for the first day. That'll be Scotty would be the closest one to where that buck was, so hopefully Scotty can figure something out and get him. Cool to at least see one out in the daylight like that. Hopefully all of them are moving in the daylight like that come Saturday.
So first morning of rifle season, Taylor and Scotty, they both head out to their stands, and I built a fire outside, our traditional first day of deer season fire for the guys that killed in archery season. And I was sitting out there by myself most of the morning. It was cool, and Dad didn't want to come out.
Well, it's first day of Pennsylvania rifle season. This is the first hunt from the newly resurrected Patch rifle stand. So I'm here with Tom's 7mm mag. I drove past about 9 deer on the way to the stand, and it's still too early to shoot though. I got busted by 2 on the flat here, but I've heard a couple shots just recently. Some of them I believe just on the neighbors and maybe a little past the neighbors, but 3 shots so far. So last night at just about dark, I saw a buck. I had a buck on my camera just 60 yards from me, but yeah, I've never run at this spot before. You can see so far.
And eventually I hear some crashing, and I'm like, uh-oh, there must be a deer coming.
It was kind of cold that morning, so I didn't go out till right away. But then I couldn't take it anymore. I had to throw on some clothes and go out.
Real quiet, not hearing any shooting, nobody, killing nothing anywhere, not hearing much shooting, and all of a sudden Dad comes out of the house. He comes over, he said, well, he says, I told your mother I'm going to come out here and bring somebody some good luck. He says, there ain't nobody getting no shooting going on, so maybe I can bring somebody some luck if I come out by the fire.
Just got to sit down talking to Matthew by the fair, and I heard Taylor shoot.
He says, that was Taylor. I said, well, I'm not 100% sure, but he said, I'm telling you, that was Taylor.
And I knew it was him shot. And Matthew says, I don't know if that was him or not. I said, I know it was Taylor that shot. I said, we ain't heard nothing about it from him. I said, that's probably up there filming himself.
Man. Yeah. First rifle buck since I was 8 years old, man. I busted him a good one. I don't know if I got him on video, but that was so cool. I know I got a little bit of him earlier, but he came chasing the doe right off the hill here. And they stopped out here, and I just didn't have a great shot. It was kind of brushy and just kind of brushy, and he actually he mounted her and started to breed her about, I don't know, 60 yards out, and then he walked out to the small firing lane at 50 yards. Well, I just can't believe this. All bow season college has been keeping me restricted on my time, and oh, I'm just so happy. I'm tickled. That's the best way to put it. Well, I better go see what's what. I better give my dad a call first.
Well, just then, the phone rings. Taylor says, I smoked him, he said.
Yeah,
I smoked him.
smoked him.
Put my foot in my mouth there.
Pap says he just come out of the house. He told Grandma he had to go out to bring somebody some luck. Then we heard you shoot.
That's awesome. Bit, and then
Did
eventually.
you shoot him off her back?
No. I was thinking about it.
He was thinking about it.
You know how they plow their way across the hillside?
Yeah.
He did that and right down over the edge.
Over the edge, which way?
Towards the field.
He's definitely down there.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I could see blood flying everywhere, and he was doing that thing where they push on their front legs.
I said, well, I'll be up. I see blood there.
It's on film.
Is it?
But it's out of focus. Like there's
Yeah.
stuff in front of him, but you can see it. It's already recording.
Huh?
Blood. Look at all that.
Yeah. You can see where he was definitely. I guess he is laying down over the hill, but
Immediately he dropped his front.
yeah. Did you see any deer before that?
Just those two that I
Really?
like right at daylight.
Half like that. Stan never let me down. Never let me down, he said. So we start down over the edge of the hillside, and we get down there, and Taylor's looking down in the creek. He said, I don't see it in the creek nowhere.
So that's when I started to get a little bit worried, and I was like, hey, he maybe went out this trail. My dad said, hey, the blood's starting to go this way. And as soon as he said that, I saw the deer jump up, and I was like, he's alive. There he is, he's alive.
Where? Shoot him. Where's he at? He's trying to get up?
So we was trying to get a safe shot at him to get a second shot into him, and he went down into the. He ran uphill, turned around, ran back downhill, went down into the creek bottom, and then once he got into the creek bottom, he bedded down real quick.
See, here, get one. Get him right in there. Rest off this tree right here, Taylor. Right here on this tree.
Watch out.
He's getting up. Get another one in. Up there shooting through too much brush. But you gotta get them finished off.
Set his head down.
Huh?
Just set his head down. See?
Yeah, I see him. Try to find him in your viewfinder here. I don't know what kind of video I got because he was flopping around. I was having a hard time.
That's fine. You see them leaves?
Looks nice on that side.
I just hate that we had to shoot him again.
I just hope he's dead. Looks nice, like a nice buck. And we went down, and here his first shot hit it low and busted up both front legs and through the brisket and stuff. And the second shot ended up killing it.
I was out of focus on the deer, so you can't see the deer that great in the video, but if there was ever a time to be out of focus, it would be this one, because if you can see, I shoot an entire branch off, which caused my shot to be a little bit low. So Taylor got a nice buck, and he got it on video, so congratulations, Taylor. Been a long time since you rifle hunted. Nice to keep my string alive. I've killed a buck every year since I started. But nursing school's definitely been a big problem when it comes to my hunting time. But it'll pay off in the end, especially with my hunting too, because it'll afford me more hunting opportunities and keep me in the woods. Yeah, got it with Tom's gun. Tom died in August, and we're missing him a lot right now. Thought about him a lot this morning. And well, it's a good way to have this first morning go, for sure. Now Scotty's up. He needs to get one today.
And Bernie and Tracy.
Yep, out at the farm.
Pat Marion.
Pat Marion's been seeing a nice buck he's trying to get after.
Thanks, Taylor. I gotta walk back up over that steep hill now. You're supposed to kill him up there.
That's a good buck.
Yeah.
Blew both of his legs off.
Yeah. I think the hindquarters is probably going to be the only good. See, Taylor, here's that big infection ball on this side. There's a big lump here. You can't see the pus. There's just a wee little bit of pus, but on the other side, there's pus where the arrow hole was. Who knows? That arrow could have been in there. That might be what you cut your hand on.
Yeah.
That broadhead could have been up
I
there
barely
somewhere.
cut my hand.
But the hindquarters will be all right to make jerky out of. Looks like I need to throw some wood on the fire.
It stands a good place on the first day.
Mm-hmm.
Never let me down.
Yep, 17.
17 outside. About 15 and a half inside.
Later in that evening, we decided to go for a little ride, just to check places out, see where people were hunting, drive around our property line a little, just to make sure people who shouldn't be hunting there aren't hunting there. We saw a deer that had some white socks on her feet. We ended up seeing her later in the season too. But anyways, we drove back to the house, sat around the campfire for a while, waiting for Scotty. Hopefully he was seeing some deer and we'd get a shot on one and we'd be able to go up and help him recover it. Come on! Come on!
Oh boy, I'm
Come on. Come on, up here, Bob. Come on. Come on, don't worry about that fire. Okay. Come here. Oh, there we go, Bob. Don't be scared of the fire. Right. And my dad says, hey, there's a buck up in the field. So I took off running after it finally hit me that he said there was a buck up in the field, up in the food plot, and I ran up to the barn and I was filming it from the barn. Well, here he is. This is the buck I shot on the first day of rifle this year. Nice 8-point. I mean, he's nice buck. Well, it's probably my second biggest buck ever. My first biggest buck's on the wall in here. Other than this, I shot an okay 7-point back in I think I was in 8th grade when I shot that one. This 9-point on the wall here, it was my junior year of high school, and then this is my junior year of college. This one here. So, happy to chase these bucks. Whitetail's my favorite species. I always tell people, you know, if I get the opportunity to hunt some more species, I think whitetail will still be my favorite, but who knows? Jesse came out hunting this year on the first Sunday the first rifle season Sunday hunting that we've had in Pennsylvania for deer.
All right. Second day of buck rifle season, Sunday. I was up in the Uncle W's newsstand, the tree house I call it. Didn't get too much going on. I was only up there for a little bit. I went and dropped Dad off, and I worked my way back over to the stand. There was 3 deer sitting there on the road when I was coming up, and spooked them out of there, and then drove up to the stand. Just got all my stuff situated and looked up, and I seen a little small buck coming, and then right behind him this guy was coming, you know, just moseying down through, coming right up the quad trail. He almost ran right into the side-by-side, and he moseyed down on over the hill, and I didn't give him much time other than to take a little glance at me, and I smoked him. He ran a couple feet down the hill and died right there. I didn't even have to drag uphill this year.
Yep.
Nice buck.
Yep. Can you turn him sideways any, or I know he's stiff now. There you go. That's good.
Wow. There's a nice buck. Oh yeah, I'd mount it. Wonder what it would score. 3.5-year-old deer, and then I looked at the characteristics of the buck, and then because I have some pictures of Jesse with it, and then I had the pictures of the buck that we filmed in the plot. Well, it wasn't a food plot really; it was just a field that some people had planted for their horse. But I had videos of this deer, and they're definitely the same deer. So congratulations, Jesse! That was a heck of a buck.